guys! It's your Tech a Girl Mary and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So wakas magagawa ko na rin yung video na talaga namang nire-request nyo. Yes, finally, ito na yung review natin ng bagong-bagong MacBook Air with the M2 chip. Quick shoutout to Mobile Cart for sourcing yung ating i-review na unit ngayon. They are present sa Instagram and they used to be Apple Cart. Isa itong shop na to guys sa mga trusted reseller ko talaga ng mga Apple products. So kung interested kayo na mag-purchase ng bagong MacBook Air with the M2 chip, I'll be putting down their links below. Actually, it's been over 2 weeks na ginagamit ko na itong MacBook Air. So matagal-tagal ko na siyang na-experience. So alam niyo yun, enough na yung masasabi ko. And yup, this is no more a first impressions or a quick review. And nakita niyo sa title, no? For me, this is the laptop to beat. It is the latest and the best laptop from Apple that you can buy right now. Kung gusto niyong malaman kung bakit, keep on watching. So, ganito na yung box ng ating MacBook Air 2022. Actually, bago na siya. Well, it's still white, pero yung pinaka-cover niya, it features the side profile of the laptop. Yes, ganito din kanipes siya in person. Unlike doon sa previous video natin ng MacBook Pro with M2 chip, dito sa MacBook Air with M2 chip, you will be getting a braided cable. And yup guys, MagSafe na siya. And if you opted for the higher variant, which is the 512GB, katulad ng unit na nire-review natin ngayon, you will be getting a power brick na merong dalawang USB-C ports. But if you will be getting, of course, the 256GB, kabaliktaran naman yung makukuha nyo sa power brick niya na isa lang ang USB Type-C port. So ano ba yung dapat nyong i-expect dito sa bagong laptop ng Apple? It delivers top-notch performance. Again, we have the new M2 chip here. I actually already explained yung hierarchy when it comes to Apple's chipsets. And this again sits between the M1 and the M1 Pro. Anyway, you can also get over 14 hours of battery life, which is, again, take note, very amazing for a laptop this thin, and a brighter and colorful display. I got the midnight colorway kasi obviously ito yung kulay na talaga namang ina-anticipate ko talaga ever since na nalaman ko nga na may bago tayong MacBook Air. But as you can see, it's really not that black. Sa ibang angulo, sa ibang lighting, just like here in the studio guys, it's more blue. Medyo may pagka navy blue yung kulay niya, pero sa ibang places like for example outdoor, it's sometimes black. Anyway, it's a breath of fresh air for me yung ganitong colorway from a MacBook Air. Pero kung hindi kayo interested sa ganitong colorway, it is also available in silver, space gray, and a new color as well, starlight. In terms of price points, dalawa lang guys. We got 69,990 pesos para sa 256GB SSD. And of course, 87,990 pesos para naman sa 512GB. After 14 years, no, sa wakas, nagkaroon na rin tayo ng major redesign. If you remember sa MacBook Air history natin guys, we have the iconic wedge shape. So yes, matagal talaga yung inantay, lalo na ng mga MacBook Air fans natin dyan, na magkaroon tayo ng major redesign. For me, yung new design is very sleek and tasteful. And it's a lot more portable and compact compared doon sa 14 and 16-inch na MacBook Pros. Although, hindi man ito yung pinakamanipes na laptop na pwede nyong mabili sa market ngayon, but again, it is overall thinner compared sa previous MacBook Air models. Yes, mas manipes guys itong MacBook Air compared dito sa iPad Pro na merong Magic Keyboard. And yes, it is also lighter. Siguro the only thing that really disappointed me guys is yung pagka-fingerprint magnet niya. And I think lahat naman yata nang nag-review ng laptop na to on this colorway, ito talaga yung reklamo. Not just that, pag medyo tumagal-tagal na yung laptop sa inyo, yung mga ports niya, medyo nag-chip off ng konti. I think that's the paint and maiiwasan naman siya if sobrang iingatan natin siya. But again, you might wanna take note lang if you prefer this colorway. On the left side of the laptop, we got two Thunderbolt 3 USB 4 ports alongside with the magnetic MagSafe port for charging. Meron din tayong 3.5mm headphone port on the other side, but no USB-C port katulad doon sa MacBook Pro 14 and 16 inch. Sa totoo lang, okay naman ako sa mga ports na meron tayo, pero I think it could have been best kung pinaghiwalay natin yung dalawang USB-C ports na magkatabi sa kaliwa. Katulad ng MacBook Pro na nakita nyo sa review natin in the past, there is also no SD card reader and even an HDMI port. So you might wanna invest lang on a good USB-C hub, katulad ng meron ako from Anker. Not sponsored by the way, pero ito yung pinaka-reliable na USB-C hub na meron ako. In terms of my experience naman doon sa kanyang keyboard and trackpad, okay naman siya, kinda used to it. It has enough travel for comfortable typing, plus it has a full row of function keys and Touch ID sensor. If mag-upgrade kayo from the MacBook Air na merong, alam nyo na, butterfly keyboard na hindi natin masyadong bet, then yung improvements guys or the upgrade is gonna be worth it. Especially to those people who spend a lot of time typing. By the way, hindi lang ako dito sa likod may problema, no? But also dito sa part ng keyboard at ng trackpad. Or kung saan nagre-rest yung palm natin, medyo ang hirap talaga niyang i-maintain to the point na, alam niyo na, over it na ako, wag na nating linisin. Now, let's talk about the screen. Actually, yung display niya, guys, no, is a bit bigger compared sa previous MacBook Air natin. It's 13.6 inches, so it's 0.6 inches bigger compared to before. As you can see, we also got here the notch na present sa mga lumabas na MacBook Pro 14 and 16 inch na hindi naman present doon sa bagong labas na MacBook Pro M2 chip. So yes, ito yung pinakamalaking display na pwede nyong makuha sa Air series ng Apple. In terms of the tech, ito pa rin yung same na nakita natin sa previous model nila, including yung ginamit na IPS LCD panel. Now, if you really want to experience yung deeper blacks, then you'll have to opt for the 14 or 16-inch model. Hindi lang yon, yung 120Hz ProMotion display na present doon, wala rin tayo dito. Which is actually totally understandable naman because of the price differences. But yung switch to a thinner bezel has really allowed Apple guys na mas stretch out yung screen natin. Moving again from 13.3 to 13.6 inches. Ngayon, ang tanong, does the notch bother me? Actually, no. The moment na pinapanood nyo yung video natin ngayon, hindi na. To the point na hindi ko na nararamdaman na may notch pala tayo. This is because I'm really used to the notch that we have from the MacBook Pro 14-inch. So, Mary, nasan yung upgrade na sinasabi mo kanina? From the previous 2560 by 1600 pixels, we now have 2560 by 1664 pixels resolution. Hindi lang yon, the panel is also brighter compared sa predecessor niya. So yes, talaga namang mas okay gamitin yung bagong MacBook Air natin ngayon outdoors. For me, if I were to compare, mas better yung display na na-experience ko dito sa Air as compared to the new MacBook Pro na merong M2 chip as well. Probably because nga mas manipes yung bezels natin dito ngayon. Parang ramdam ko na hindi siya masyadong pinilit, hindi siya masyadong siniksik. Now for the notch, again, it is a bit subjective. To some, mas ma-appreciate nila because of the camera inside the notch is the same 1080p na meron tayo sa mga larger Pro models. Yes, take note, it's 1080p, not 720p as compared to the latest MacBook Pro M2 chip. Anyway, when it comes naman sa kanyang speaker system, it consists of 2 tweeters and 2 woofers and supports Apple's spatial audio technology. So kung i-compare natin ito doon sa previous M1 Air, yung speakers natin ngayon is slightly fuller and mas less echoey yung kanyang sound. By the way, I forgot to mention kanina sa ating design that the branding of the laptop doesn't show. What do I mean by this? Kung maaalala niyo yung mga previous MacBook Airs, we got a MacBook Air text under the display. Dito sa mga bagong MacBook Air, it's nowhere to be found. So yes guys, you just have to know that this is the new MacBook Air. Well, hindi rin naman siya ganun kahirap i-distinguish because of its very thin and the compact design. Now, very quickly, let's talk about the performance. Kahit na again, quite similar lang siya doon sa previous video na napanood nyo all about the MacBook Pro na may M2 chip din. Again, pwede kayong mamili sa dalawang main configurations, base model na merong 8-core GPU and 8-core CPU na merong 16-core Neural Engine and 8GB memory. And then ito namang nire-review natin guys comes with an 8-core CPU, 8GB memory, 16-core Neural Engine, but doubles the 256GB base storage to 512GB and has a beefier 10-core GPU. Now, if you don't feel like this is enough, again, pwede kayong mag-customize ng sarili nyong MacBook Air up to 2TB SSD and pwede natin tong magawa or ma-purchase through their Apple website. Although, when it comes to pricing, no, I think mas less attainable lang ng konti yung bago nating MacBook Air because of the price point. Uulitin ko, mas mahal ngayon yung mga MacBook Airs na merong M2 chip kaysa noong unang lumabas yung MacBook Air na merong M1 chip. But again, katulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina sa video natin, my opinion remains the same. It is still the most capable laptop for its size. To the point that this laptop can also handle pro task as well. Katulad na lang din ng 4K video editing, both in Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro. I don't even have to proxy my videos anymore, guys. As in, diretso ko siyang na-edit. Also, gusto ko lang sabihin that if you are the type of person who really relies on a laptop for professional video editing, raw photo editing, or even coding, probably the MacBook Air is not the right device for you. Now, battery life. I did mention kanina guys na maganda yung performance nitong MacBook Air when it comes to that aspect. Actually, same din ito ng sinabi ko doon sa review na napanood nyo sa MacBook Pro na meron ding M2 chip. Again, surprising for a laptop na ganito lang kanipis and portable. Again, over the 2 weeks guys na ginagamit ko itong MacBook Air as my main laptop, every end of the day, I am always left with almost 20 or 30% of a battery charge. Meaning, enough pa rin siya to be used the next day. Now, if I were to give my final verdict, sa totoo lang, if I were to recommend a laptop na okay for entry level or students, I wouldn't really recommend this one. Unang-una, syempre, medyo pricier siya. Pangalawa, I think it still is a bit overkill kung hindi naman kayo yung tipo ng tao na kailangan ding mag-edit ng photos or videos at mainly internet use lang naman. Again, you can always opt for the previous generation laptops of Apple or Windows if hindi nyo type ang laptops ng Apple. But again, kung ang hanap nyo ay yung latest laptop, I think this is the best laptop for you. Syempre, hindi naman siya perfecto eh. May mga bagay pa rin ako na gusto na wala dito sa laptop na to. But again, I would highly recommend pa rin this laptop kung magtatanong man sila ng entry-level recommendation from Apple. So yeah, that's basically it. Maraming salamat guys. It's your tech, a girl Mary, and see you on our next video. Bye guys!